Welcome to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen, and I'm Chef Alli.
And I'm Karen Hansen.
And we're glad to have you in the kitchen today, the heart of the home. We're making homemade granola. Very excited about that. And why would we want to do that?
You know, granola is one of those dishes that you can make how you like it.
Yes.
You can put things in there that your family likes, that you like, and it's so nutritional because it's whole grains. It's the one we're going to do today. You'll see it's got tons of different things in it. High protein, high fiber, whole grain, just great nutrition.
And you can control your fat, which is something we always want to do. Store-bought granola, rather, is always going to be very fatty, lots of sugar. And so we're going to lower that today. What we're going to do is make our sweetener combination here first. And we're going to use honey, which I sprayed that bowl ahead of time so that would come out of there a little bit easier. There you go, Miss Karen. This is our 1/3 cup of canola oil.
We like to use canola because it's a monounsaturated fat, which is very heart healthy.
Okay.
That and olive oil. Now, olive oil you wouldn't necessarily want maybe in granola since it's a sweeter finished product. Yeah. But canola is just as healthy.
Right, and that was our pure vanilla extract. We've got kosher salt and cinnamon that we want to add to our mixture.
Cinnamon is a great antioxidant, so I like to put cinnamon in anything I can possibly put cinnamon in.
Right.
About a half a teaspoon of cinnamon is equal to almost 3 cups of broccoli, the antioxidant power.
I like that.
Yes.
Not that I don't like broccoli, but that was our pure maple syrup. And I know we want to talk about that because I set this out to remind me. Pure maple syrup is not at all like pancake syrup that we're typically used to using. And that's what we want to use in this particular scenario is pure maple syrup. A little more expensive, but you will notice you can use just such a small amount and still get all that wonderful flavor. So
because really maple syrup that you use on pancakes is corn syrup to add maple flavoring too.
We don't want that at all.
Right.
Okay. Now, a very key ingredient in our granola, which is something that Karen and I were excited about because we hadn't seen very many granola recipes that call for this, and that is 2 egg whites.
Right.
And why is that important? Because it makes your granola clumpy. And I like clumpy, chewy granola is what I'm a fan of.
Kind of binds together. You know what else is you're adding a lot of protein.
Right. Good point.
That's an extra 14 grams of protein there. And there's no fat in egg whites.
Okay.
It's the yolk that has the fat, so that's a great way to add a little extra protein.
So not only is it our binder, it added protein. So it's a definite plus.
Right.
Another key ingredient, our orange zest. And we're just going to zest by taking the bright part off.
Smells so good.
Isn't that fresh? Never, never, ever skip zest in any recipe, but most especially in this one. And you can see all your zest is going to gather right there on the back of your microplane. Turn it over, tap, tap, tap. You can use that whole orange if you want to. And notice we're not getting down into the pith where it's bitter. We're just taking off the nice, bright
Just keep
part.
that orange rolling in your hand.
Exactly.
And you get that nice, bright orange.
And this is going to give you something, there's no extra fat in that zest, but tons of flavor and lots of brightness.
Right.
So we're going to whisk one more time, and then a half a cup or so is going to go over our dried fruits. Okay, and then Karen, if you want to give that a stir. And what we have in here, you can use any kind of dried fruit you have on hand at home. I like to use apricots, cranberries, actually something that I did recently that was really good. Chopped dates was wonderful in there, but whatever you have on hand, golden raisins, cherries, even dried blueberries is wonderful. So we coat that with our mixture, and then this part, I'm going to move our bowl over here. This is our whole rolled oats. We don't want to use quick oats in this recipe, and I know, Karen, you probably want to talk about this.
You know, when it comes to oats, we can have steel cut, which are little chopped up whole oats.
Okay.
We can use old-fashioned oats, or we can use quick oats. Actually, nutritionally, once they're inside, they're basically going to be broken down to the same nutrition.
Okay.
But so it's really a matter of whether
texture?
It is. It's really a matter of how much you like to chew.
I like to chew.
Yeah. There you go.
You know I like to chew. I do. So we've got the, and rolled oats and whole oats are the same thing, right? Okay.
There.
So we've got that going on. We want to combine all of that. And then once you have all of your whole oats coated, we're then going to add
almonds.
The good stuff.
Yes.
Our slivered almonds.
Which are another omega-3 rich nut that we like to use high in fiber.
Talk about that.
This
you
is
can even
quinoa.
pour it in if you want to.
This is quinoa, and quinoa is this is actually a tricolor. Quinoa comes in the golden, the red, and the darker color.
I love that.
Quinoa is just such a cool whole grain, and quinoa is very high in protein.
Yes.
Flax
And it adds
seed?
lots of crunch to
Yes,
your
it does,
granola
doesn't
as
it?
well.
And a neat
Okay.
variety in textures.
Go ahead.
Flax seed, which is another great, heart healthy little whole grain. Flax seed is actually whole like this. You'll get a great amount of fiber.
Okay.
If you want the omega-3s out of it, you need to grind it.
Okay.
So either
So
way.
we're going for the fiber
Yes,
today and
yes.
the crunch, so we're going to go for the whole flax
So
seed.
and you can put either in. You can put both in.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Pepitas, one of my very favorite
Yes.
snacks. I'm
Little
not going to eat
pumpkin
it right
seeds.
now. But
I love it because look at the color it adds too. But pepitas are just a fun little crunchies as well. All nuts and seeds.
good for
Terrifically
us.
healthy for
Yes.
us.
So at this point, we've got everything incorporated, and what we're going to do now is our oven is preheated to 275 degrees. We want to cook our granola nice and low and slow, if you will, because those higher temperatures make crispy granola. That's not what we're going for with this recipe. Our baking sheet is here, and I've lined it with some parchment paper. We'll pull that over, and Karen and I are going to try to get all of that onto there. We just want to spread it out, and I bet she can do it into a nice thin layer. And we're going to bake this for 20 minutes at 275 degrees. And then when it comes back out of the oven is when we will then stir in our dried fruit mixture. All right, our granola has been in the oven for 20 minutes.
Right.
And now we're going to incorporate our fruit. Karen, if you just want to
Certainly.
add that, we'll just stir that in. And what this allows us to do is our granola then has the added sweetness of the fruit and the honey that we stirred on here. And we don't want to cook our fruit as long as the granola cooks. That's why we're adding it in at this point of the recipe, because we don't want to overcook our fruit and get it too dried out. So we'll just incorporate this, and then we're going to go back into the oven at that 275 degrees for 30 more minutes, but we're going to stir it halfway through the baking time.
Looks delicious and
There we go.
smells delicious.
Doesn't it smell delicious?
Yes.
Wonderful.
That orange zest really adds a
Makes the
nice
difference.
Right.
All right, the granola is out of the oven and onto our serving platter.
Yum.
Look how beautiful it looks. I love all these great big wonderful clusters.
Yes.
That's why I love this recipe so
Right,
much. It's
right.
just beautiful.
And that's a beautiful golden brown color.
Yep.
It's really
It turned out really well. Nice and chewy, a little bit of crunch. I love how the quinoa looks in there too, so
nice
good deal.
textures, nice
Yes.
variety.
And Karen is going to
Yes.
build us some parfaits, because that's one of the neat things that you can do with granola that kids really seem to enjoy.
Absolutely.
You can set up a parfait bar, like for a brunch or any kind of wonderful dinner that you're doing. It's just fun to get your friends and your family
Right.
involved in what you're cooking. They
This
love that.
this can actually be a dessert.
Right?
It can be breakfast.
Oh, that's a
It
great
can be
idea.
a snack. It can be anything. And it's so important because we know that, especially yogurt is so rich in calcium.
Right.
And we know that a lot of our kids, I read a statistic recently that 80% of females in their teen years
Ooh.
and 45% of males in their teen years are deficient in calcium.
Right.
So what
Not
a
a
fun
good
way
thing.
to get them to get their milk.
To encourage them to
Absolutely.
get that into their diet.
I'm going to use
Yes.
a little of your yogurt here or
Wonderful.
your granola.
Okay. And, you know, when you make your homemade granola, you might be thinking, well, you know, yes, I know I can make a parfait, but how else can I incorporate it? It's wonderful on top of oatmeal. You can put it on fruit, bake that as like a fruit crisp.
Right.
So there's a lot of way besides snacking that you can kind of use up
Just to bag it
granola.
up and carry it with you in your bag.
Yes, nice thing to
After
tuck
that-
in your
right,
purse.
right.
And earlier we talked about the yogurt that we made with the strawberry milk. I think that looks so beautiful. Karen
Yes.
made this up ahead of time. If you're having guests over, you know, something that's so simple really, but just looks so beautiful and elegant. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can find Karen and I not only here on our cooking videos as part of Kansas Farm Bureau, but also in Kansas Living, which is the Kansas Farm Bureau
Right.
membership magazine. We have a nice little spread in this every quarter when it comes out. We would love to have you get this into your hands.
Right.
Also, please find me on Facebook, because I do love to connect with all of you, and there you will find recipes, nutrition tips from Karen if I invite her over, all kinds of great things. So please find me on Facebook. I'm Chef Alli,
And I'm Karen Hansen.
and remember,
Now
you're
you're
cooking.